guys, Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with a video of all of the 2023 releases I cannot wait for. A majority of these are indie published, so that means that a lot of them are from the first half of the year. Some of my favorite authors are not on this list because they haven't announced what they're writing, and they haven't announced when it's coming, what it's about, what the title is. So these are all the ones that I know for sure are coming out next year. There are like a couple of traditionally published ones. I'm excited for these. I cannot wait. Some of my favorite authors have some really exciting books coming out, so I have literally a whole list. We're gonna get to it. I do have my computer in front of me because it's so much easier to look up synopses on my computer than the Goodreads app on my phone. Makes me nuts sometimes. It is so bad, but I will go ahead and get to all the releases I cannot wait for. The first 6 are I know for sure are in January, and the rest I don't really know the release dates for. They're not gonna be in any sort of order, so I'm just gonna get into it. The first one is my favorite author. I've been dying for this book, and it is Whispers of You by Catherine Cowles. This is a second chance romance. I don't remember what the tropes are because she said it before. I think she said it might be her first true second chance romance. So it does say it's a second chance romance, so I can't like get that from the synopses, but I remember her saying that. And it is definitely have suspense in it. So this says that a night of a single bullet costs someone everything. Their body's broken. So I think it's hers. So something happened to her and she lost the love of her life, and now he's back and he has demons haunting him. I'm so excited for this. So of course tragedy strikes again. I don't know if Holt worked for the security company that the hero in the novella did. I read book 0.5, and that has to do with the hero who works for a security company and his sister's best friend. So that one was really fun. It was very short, so definitely read that if you haven't yet. This one comes out at the end of January and I need it now. I know I'm getting an arc of it, but like I want it now. It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited for a new series from Catherine. I love her book so much. Gives me so much romantic suspense that I love, and her romances are just so good. So very excited for this one. I don't think I've read a second chance romance from her either, so very excited. Very excited for the whole series in general. I think we're gonna get a few in this series this year. So then we have The Choice by Ashley Jade. This one is, I know about characters from the words, and my only problem is I don't remember. So the heroine was actually in a relationship with someone who died in the words, and then she though was like falling for his brother. I don't remember if they were engaged or if they were just dating, but they had been together a while, and he was like into drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. And so it's going to be a duet, and I've heard that they are like massively long, which okay, like the words, I didn't mind how long it was, but these I think are like really long. So the first one comes out the 19th, and it was a small town girl battling her demons. I'm pretty sure that she was the one who ended up being the manager, like social media manager kind of thing for the band, and there's just like a lot of angst between her and the guy. So this says that he swooped in to save her when she needed him the most. She was a troubled girl with scars. Oh, and then she broke his heart. Ooh. So there must be like more to their story than we got in the words. Like obviously there was, so that's why they are writing a duet for her and him. But I'm not the biggest fan of the cover. I thought it was like a placeholder cover because it looks like the Powerless cover. That's like the placeholder for that. Of course Goodreads is being annoying and sending me back to the main page. Even their website's annoying. But very excited for Ashley Jade's duet. It's gonna be so good. Another duet that's coming out though is the Optimus Guide to Heartbreak by Jennifer Hartman. This is actually also a duet, and both are coming out around the same time. This is coming out January 17th, and this one I know she said was more like rom-com-y, but like still super emotional. So she put down the book that she was writing about 2 people that were kidnapped and that like fell in love like through a wall. That was gonna be so good, but she like didn't feel into writing that one, so she switched to this, and I'm shocked by how fast she wrote it. I think it's already done. And so she had a best friend growing up, and she ended up buying her house that she used to live in, and she's like uncovering things I think from their childhood based on what it sounds like. And she applies for a job at her best friend's older brother's auto shop. I'm assuming her best friend died or something. I don't know. It sounds like something tragic happened. And her new boss is now gruff, built, and covered in tattoos. And she reminds him of everything he longs to forget. So it's Grump Sunshine. It's gonna be so good. So probably emotional, but I'm so excited. I love Jennifer Hartman. This one's gonna be so good. Then we have Final Offer by Lauren Asher. This one, I don't know if it's the end. I think there's only 3 brothers in the series. It's a Dreamland Billionaire series, and this one, ooh, he says, I'm the Kane brother everyone gossips about. He's the trust fund brat, washed up athlete, high functioning alcoholic. Ooh, is it a childhood best friend? Yeah, so it is a childhood best friend romance, the only woman he's ever loved. He broke her heart 6 years ago, and he said he'd never return. Now to receive his inheritance, he has to spend the summer at the family lake house before selling it, which I'm assuming then is how he's reconnected with his childhood best friend. It sounds so good. I actually have really enjoyed the series. I know not a lot of people love it, but book 1 I really liked, and book 2 was good, so I'm excited for the 3rd book in the series. This one comes out January 31st. Then we have a, I think, fantasy paranormal from Emma Scott coming out. So it's the Muse, and I really like Emma Scott. She had another like angel romance come out that I never read, but this one says it's an emotional paranormal romance about sacrifice, redemption, and the power of true love. This one actually comes out on the 8th, so it comes out really soon. It says that he wants to be a successful painter. I feel like Emma Scott has a lot of like artist characters in her books, and so it's an MM fantasy paranormal. Okay, I was like, who are these? Who is the character? It's Ambrosius. He goes by Ambry. He has surrendered to the underworld centuries ago, and so is he like a... I don't know what he is. I never know how to understand synopses of paranormal or fantasy because it's just so much to understand in such a little synopsis, but he needs to bring a pure soul to the dark realm, and Cole seemed like an easy mark. And oh, Ambry is a muse who unlocks Cole's talent, and oh my gosh, that sounds really good. Is it a series? It doesn't say it's a series. It might be a no, it's Muse's 2. Oh, it's book 2 in the series. She wrote a book 1, and this says it's book 2, but it's read as a standalone, so maybe I'll have to go back and read book 1. It looks really good. It has like a guy with like wings, and I'm a sucker for a hero with wings. I'm excited for an MM fantasy paranormal romance from Emma Scott. So then we have Wild by Mikalia Smeltzer. I've seen actually a lot of people with this book already. This one I think is a rock star romance. Yeah, so he is in a band. It's called The Wild. It's finally made it big, and nothing's standing in their way except for him. The producer gives him one rule that says stay away from his daughter, and he's like, I thought it'd be easy, but she gets under my skin. I love a good forbidden romance, so this one sounds good. I love Mikalia. I'm excited for a new book by her, and this one, I love a good rockstar romance, mostly, sometimes. But it has to be an author I trust, and I feel like I can trust her to do it well. Then we have The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. This one I need now. I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night this past month, and I'm obsessed. One of my top favorite books of the year, and this one is book 2. Book 1 ended on a huge cliffhanger. It has to do with a human heroine who enters this competition of like trials to try to win, and there can only be one winner, and she teams up with the hero who is a vampire. Then he has wings, and they know like at the end they're gonna have to kill each other, and so the end has like a really big cliffhanger. And then there's this one, and I am so excited. It was such a good fantasy romance. The romance was so good and angsty and slow burn and just tension filled. So good. I cannot wait to read it. So this one, I'm dying. I'm dying. I think it comes out in March, which is way too far away, but I'm excited. Then we have King of Pride by Anna Huang. I read King of Wrath and I really enjoyed it. I go into these not expecting to be like 5-star reads. I just have a fun time with them. So this is just says that she's his opposite and the greatest temptation he's known. It's steamy billionaire romance. So that's all the synopsis says, but I don't know. I think she said there's either 2 or 3 that, probably 2 that she wants to come out with this year, because this one's not coming out until April. So it's gonna be a while, but the first one was fun. I enjoy her alpha heroes, so that's what I'm here for. So I can't wait to read this one. We have 2 by Sarah Kay. We have Highest Bidder and Madame. The only thing I know about Highest Bidder is that it is an age gap romance, and that's all I know about these coming out. I still have not read the 4th book or the 2nd book in this series. I definitely need to go back and read them because I loved Praise and Give Me More. So Sarah Kay is just an author that's created such a fun series with Salacious Players Club. I do think that books 5 and 6 are going to come out with Bloom Books, so that'll be interesting to see if they're different at all from what she normally writes, because she did indie publish the first 4, and the last 2 are going to be with a publisher. But these are really fun in a pleasure club. That's really all there is to them. I love her age gaps, so high hopes for these. We have Mafia Target, which is book 4 in the Mafia Mistress. I don't remember, The Kings of Italy, I think? I don't remember the title, but this one is by Mila Finelli, and it is going to be Giulio, his book, and it is Fausto's son. It's going to be MM. We know when we met him in book 1, he was supposed to marry the heroine, but he pretty much immediately tells the heroine that he is gay, and he's like, I don't want to marry you. I'm really excited for him to get his own book because he did have a really tragic romance in the first 2 books, so it's interesting to see who his love interest is going to be and how he's going to get his happily ever after. I'm very excited. I cannot wait to read this. Then, okay, so I'm going to talk about Penelope Douglas real quick. So Penelope Douglas posted in their Facebook group about how sorry they are about how long they take to write and how everyone is really disappointed in the fact that they are taking forever to write. They're not feeling inspired and they just feel like they're letting their readers down. And it was a really sad post to read because you never want an author to feel that way. And Motel is a book I know people have been dying to read. Motel was teased at the end of Birthday Girl, where they like went to a motel and saw the characters that were supposed to be in Motel. So it's supposed to come out like 4 years ago, and it's been, I don't know if it's 4 years ago. Did Birthday Girl come out that long? Whenever Birthday Girl came out, the next book we were supposed to get was Motel. We also have Pirate Girls, which is also the next in the Fall Away spinoff. I don't remember what that series is called, but it's a spinoff that is the Children of the Fall Away series, and Falls Boys was the first one. I really enjoyed it. I'd love to see the second book as well, but I have no idea what's coming next from Penelope, especially if they are feeling uninspired and unable to write. So hopefully we get something from them this year. These are the 2 that we could possibly get. I don't know if we're gonna get them. Hopefully we do. Then we have Coach by Devon Perry. I do have a couple Devon Perry on this list and one in her Will and Ash pen name. This one is a Coach romance, former football star, and a single dad. I guess it's second chance because it also says football star, single dad. And once a long time ago, mine. Is it gonna be a second chance romance? So it says that she spent a part of a decade forgetting him. He stayed away from Montana, and the only place she ever saw him was on ESPN, so she never watches. Her boss just hired him as the new coach for the Treasure State Wildcats, so I don't know what that means. Does she work for them? I don't know, but it sounds really good, and I'm very excited for her new book. We also, I know every single one of my friends that have done this video have talked about Powerless by Elsie Silver, so it says it's Jasper's book. And is he the hockey player? I don't remember names at all, but I remember there were a lot of side characters I was really excited for. So this one says it's 2 childhood friends, 2 broken hearts, an impromptu road trip, and she's been living in the friend zone for years now. So he's a hockey player and he isn't looking at her like a friend anymore. He isn't touching her like one either. And I'm very excited. So she's loved him for years. Ooh, her life falls apart on her wedding day. He's the one to swoop in and save her. So I'm very, very excited for this one. I really liked Jasper's character when we saw him in the previous 2 books, and Elsie Silver literally can do no wrong, so I'm excited for this one. Then we have Score by Kennedy Ryan. This one is hopefully coming out this year. She was talking about this one and then book 2 Before I Let Go coming out. She's writing them in reverse order of when they're coming out, so I think Score's coming first, if I remember correctly, because this one is indie published. Is it Monk and Verity? People are saying it's Monk and Verity, so it might be the singer and the screenwriter. I read Real last year, so I don't remember the side characters all that well, but I'm very excited for Score to come out. There's no synopsis or anything on the Goodreads page, but it does take place in the Hollywood Renaissance series, so I think it's going to be in like the same kind of world that Real was in, so working in movie production, so very excited for this one, of course, and new Kennedy Ryan. Okay, so one of the only few traditionally published romances, because the first one was indie and then got picked up, is Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. I really enjoyed Things We Never Got Over. I think this is in the same small town that the first book was in. So this one says the chief of police is recovering from being shot, and he's broody, and he's not going to let anybody in, but his new next door neighbor sees him and says that she's not a fan of physical contact unless she initiates it, but his touch is different and he feels it too. There's a physical connection between them, but they both have a lot of secrets, and she's like, maybe we can have a fling, but obviously it's not gonna be a fling. So this one is gonna be really good. It's probably gonna be like super long like all of her other books are, but it comes out February 21st and the cover's really pretty. I really like it, so I'm definitely excited for this one. Then we have Jasper Vale, which is the 4th book in the Eden series that I'm super excited for, because the previous book ended off on kind of a cliffhanger for the couple. So there was this guy, and I don't remember where he was from, but there's twins in the book, and one of them was like, I really like this guy. And then at the end of the book, the other twin showed up married to him. So I know it's not going to be like a love triangle. There's no like hate or animosity between them, which I think Devon Perry has made clear, which makes me happy because I don't need twin sisters fighting over a guy. But this one is going to be really good. So, oh yeah, so the heroine is the one who owns the inn. It's Eloise, and the inn is like named after her. It's the Eloise Inn. Well, it was named after I think her grandmother, and she was named after her grandmother. So yeah, she goes to Vegas and is married to a stranger, and Jasper is there. Is Jasper the one that was training? Yes, okay, he was Foster's trainer in the previous book. I was like, I think I remember him. I'm horrible with characters, but I'm pretty sure Jasper was the one who was training the hero of book 3 in his MMA fighting, and so they end up together. He, though, is not a love triangle. I think she made it clear that there's no love triangle, like, fighting over him, which I'm excited for. We also have another traditionally published romance by Christina Forrest, which I'm really excited for. I've really enjoyed Christina Forrest YA books. So we're getting The Neighbor Favor from Berkeley, and the cover's really cute. And it is a shy bookworm enlisting her charming neighbor to help her score a date. And she doesn't know that he's the obscure author she's been writing to. Oh my gosh, it's kind of like the You've Got Mail scenario, which I always love. So she said she's always felt inadequate compared to the rest of her family, and she dreams of becoming an editor of children's books, but she's been stuck in nonfiction division of her job. And then she decides to write to her favorite fantasy author, and they start connecting over emails, and she meets him. That sounds so cute. So she seeks a date to her sister's wedding, and the person to help her is her new neighbor, and he writes under a pen name though, so she doesn't know it's him. This is gonna be so good. I think it's up on NetGalley, and I really want to request it so I can read it soon. I love Christina Forrest. Like I said, I really liked she wrote Now That I Found You, and I feel like she wrote another one that I read. So she wrote I Want to Be Where You Are, which is super cute, and then Now That I Found You, which I really liked. I have not yet read Zyla and Kai. I really do want to read that one, but I'm excited for her foray into adult romance, and I think I'm gonna love it. Then I have The Brood by Willa Nash. No, I have not read the series yet. I've only read book 1. I'm trying to finish it, but this one I think is book 6 in the series, and it's the guy's best friend asks him for a favor. He lives alone in a small town, and it's the best friend's little sister needs a place to stay. So he's letting her stay with him. So it's a roommate situation. It's gonna be really good. I think the series is fun. I've only read book 1, but I know Tori from Novel Life loves this series, and I think The Brawl is her favorite. It's gonna be a good one. I'm excited for this one to come out. We have Hail Mary by Candy Steiner. This one says it's an enemies to lovers roommate sports romance. That's all the synopsis says. This one, though, is book 4 in the series. I read the first 2 and really enjoyed them. I need to read Quarterback Sneak, which is a forbidden romance as well. This one hopefully is good. I love a good roommates romance, so we'll see who the characters are and what their situation is. Okay, so the next one I actually saw because Madison from the Princess of Paperback was talking about this in her recent video talking about releases coming out. It's called Poison Roses, and it's actually Tate James writing with Jamin Eve, and this is a mafia rock star why choose romance with dark elements and cliffhangers throughout. We all know Tate James is gonna have cliffhangers. She writes cliffhangers in like every single one of her books, so I don't know. So it says that she thought she hit rock bottom when she was 18, and that's the day she broke her first love's heart, ending things before she ruined his career as a rock star. So it sounds like he was gonna make it big, so she broke it off, and now it's 8 years later. She's homeless, jobless, covered in blood, and running from ghosts of her past, and then the second boy she's ever loved is coming for her, and she's trying to escape his wrath, and then the hottest rock band in the world, she stumbles into them, and she's hiding out with them on tour. It sounds like it's gonna be crazy, and I think it might be a why choose romance with the people in the band. So sounds like a lot of fun. I'm excited. Okay, then we have 3 historical romances I have not been like super loving traditionally published historicals, especially like newer ones, but there are 3 I'm excited for. So one, I am so sad because I requested it on NetGalley September, months ago, and they have not denied me or accepted me. They just like leave me hanging, and I was like, at least deny me so I know there's no chance it's gonna show up on my Kindle. But no, they're just gonna say, no, you don't get anything. So this one is the second book to the Rakes, and I loved the Rakes. I read it in 2021, in January of 2021. So it's been forever since we've gotten a book from Scarlett Peckham in the series. So this one says, it is about a scandalous woman in the Society of Sirens with an explosive secret, and she's a duchess in disguise. So she's an activist painter, and she doesn't want marriage or love love, and then she has an inheritance that gives her the chance to fund the cause for women's rights, but she has to reveal a secret. She's already married. So she's been married to a guy she hasn't seen for 20 years, and her husband's a duke. He's a horse breeder, and he didn't want to be a duke, but now he has the title. He can't fall in love with his wife again. This sounds amazing. I think I'm gonna love it. I'm so excited. So then the last two I actually have physical copies of because the author sent them my way, and when I tell you, I'm so excited for these. So the first one, The Duke Gets Even by Joanna Shupe. We have another glorious cover from her, which I'm obsessed with. So this says, a rebellious heiress, a duke in dire straits, an anonymous midnight tryst. So there's a secret affair between a free-spirited heiress and an uptight duke. So she wants to escape the shackles of marriage. It's Nellie, who I've loved throughout the other books in this series. And she has dedicated herself to pleasure and like kissing a handsome stranger in the ocean under the moonlight. To save his estate, he has to get married and he has to have the perfect bride. Obviously, she's not going to be the perfect bride for him, but I'm assuming they fall in love. This is gonna be so good. I want to just like drop everything and read it now because I'm so excited. This comes out in January. Thank you to the author for sending this to me. And then Lorraine Heath reached out and asked if I wanted this book because Lorraine Heath is one of my absolute favorite historical romance authors as well. This one is The Counterfeit Scoundrel. It is the first book in the Chessmen series that she's coming out with. So this one I don't even think I've seen the synopsis yet before. So this says that Daisy is an enterprising sleuth and she is born into an aristocratic family but doesn't care about being like wealthy and in society. So she has been hired to obtain proof of a wife's infidelity, and so she secures a position in the household of the woman's lover, never expecting to be lured into the seductive blackguard's arms herself. So she is going undercover to uncover him and see if he's actually the lover of this woman. Oh, it does say as a boy he witnessed his mother's abusive relationships, so he helps desperate wives escape unhappy marriages. And then he's accused of murdering the husband of someone, and he's forced to ask her for her help in proving his innocence. This sounds amazing. I'm so excited for this one. I'm gonna love it. And those are all the books I cannot wait to read in 2023. Let me know if you have any anticipated releases. I would love to hear. That was a ton, but there are so many good releases that I'm excited for. So let me know what you're excited for down below, and that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.